All right, everyone, from that clickety-clack sound, it's time for TV Oblivion, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 37, season 2. Today's date is May 7th, 2023, and welcome to the show. Yes, I know it's been a long time. I haven't done a podcast episode in a month. I will explain later why I haven't done one, but first, here is today's lineup. From the 1950s is the TV Western, The Adventures of Champion. From the 1960s, the TV sitcom Camp Runamuck. From the 1970s, the TV animated series The Grape Ape Show. From the 1980s, that anthology series Amazing Stories. From the 1990s, the TV sitcom Almost Perfect. From the 2000s, it's Beautiful People. That's a TV drama. And in the 2010s, The Carmichael Show. So we have an interesting lineup. So let's get started. But first, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Right Guard deodorant. And this commercial is famous for its high guy. And once I play it, I will explain after the commercial is over. So this is from 1978. So sit back and enjoy, just relax, and I'll be right back with the program. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, guy!
Oh, two of you. Oh,
That's my boy. Hey, you got a new right guard roll-on.
That's my right guard roll-on with the new wider ball.
I use my mom's.
Oh, right guard's better.
That's right, son.
Yeah? Yeah. You can't buy better wetness protection than this right guard.
Bye. Bye.
Don't do that.
Bye, guy.
Mona.
Right Guard Roll-On. Don't get dressed without it.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Right Guard with the high guy in it. The guy who said that was Chuck McCann. He was a famous comedian. He did his famous impersonations of Oliver Hardy. He was very good at that. Oh, very funny man. You remember him from Far Out Space Nuts, Bob Denver in the 70s. The other guy is actor Bill Fiore, and he's another actor. He's the one who yells, Mona. I wish they showed Mona in the commercial. He was in a lot of sitcoms and a few movies. So that commercial was famous. It started from 1969 to about 1979, something like that. Just want to verify. And so it was hilarious. I still like that commercial. But as for Right Guard, it comes in the commercial. They did a roll-on, but I still use this as a spray. I use a deodorant. It's a good product. And it was introduced in 1960, still on the market. And so. I just bought some like a few days ago. So I bought about a couple cans to stock up. Like that. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I explained about today's lineup. But before I get started, I want to explain why I haven't done a podcast episode in such a long time. Well, a lot of things happened. There was Easter and things came up, and I was working on my other podcast, Fan Chicagoland Stories, and I went to the doctor, all that, because, for my urologist, so I didn't have time. So today I do. I have time to do an episode. I apologize to everyone. I know everyone was looking forward to listening to another episode of TV Oblivion. This is a lot of fun. It really is, because I'm a TV addict. I'm a big couch potato, and I love TV history. Okay, so let's get started. All right, the first show I will talk about is The Adventures of Champion. And this is about it's about a horse. And so I'll give you the premise of the show. But first, I'll tell you when it got started. It premiered on September 23rd, 1955, ended March 3rd, 1956 in black and white. It was a 30-minute show on CBS. It was produced by Gene Autry, which in fact is his own horse. I think he used his horse in his TV show, the Gene Autry Show. So the premise of the show is it was set in the 1880s in the American Southwest, and there was a little boy. His name was Ricky North. He was 12 years old. He lived on a ranch with Uncle Sandy. Okay. And let's see. So, Sandy was played by Barry Curtis, and he did a lot of movies. Like, for example, he was in Abbott and Costello Goes to Mars. He did a lot of television, like Father Knows Best, or Lone Ranger, Sergeant Preston of the Yukon, and also Leave It to Beaver. The part of Sandy, so that was Ricky North. The part of Sandy North was played by actor Jim Bannon. That's his name. I began on radio, then on television. He was an actor and announcer, best known for his work in I Love a Mystery and the Red Ryder series in the 40s and 50s. Did that. And I'll talk a little bit more about the actors. And also in the cast there was Champion, the Wonder Horse, and also Rebel, the dog. And he was played by Blaze. So they did most of the episodes were they were just fighting off the bad guys, or like dire situations that happened to other people, So I've never seen the show, but I saw it on YouTube about a few days ago. I liked it. It was a good, clean show. It was very enjoyable. If you like 1950s television show, it's perfect for you. So the show is on DVD, but there are 26 episodes, but there are 3 missing. So it is available if you want to purchase it. Help yourself. Like that. And let's see. So right now I'm going to play the theme song for The Adventures of Champion. The man who sings the theme song, this is very interesting. Let's see. I just want to make sure. It was sung by a person named Mike Stewart. And then it was later recorded by Frankie Lane. He sang Rawhide. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. I can't. And so here's the theme song for The Adventures of Champion. And when I come back, I'll talk a little bit more about Barry Curtis, who played Ricky North. Okay? So just sit back and relax and enjoy the theme song. Okay, thank you.
Alive and flashing across the sky, like the swiftest arrow whizzing from a bow, like a mighty cannonball he seems to fly. You'll hear about him everywhere you go. The time will come when everyone will know the name of Champion, the Wonder Horse.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Champion, the Wonder Horse. As for actor Barry Curtis, who played Ricky North on the TV show, he was born in L.A. in September 10th, 1943. His first role was in the film The Marrying Kind, and that was starred Judy Holliday and Aldo Ray. And I've never seen this movie. I like to see it. I heard it's funny. It really did. And like I said before, he appeared in other movies and other sitcoms. The last one was Leave It to Beaver. And then he stopped acting. He attended the University of California and earned his philosophy degree. And then he attended Harvard University and he's got his doctor's degree. That's wonderful. And he taught at universities, and the last one was at the University of Hawaii in Hilo, or is it Hilo? I always get that mixed up like that. And so thank goodness he found something to fall back on. Hollywood's rough. And then he passed away on January 13th, 2019 in Hilo, Hawaii. He was 75 years old. So that's great. He was a good child actor. I enjoyed watching him. Okay. Next up, we have a show from the 1960s. It's the TV sitcom Camp Runamuck. I love this title. It's hilarious. So this premiered September 17th, 1965. It ended April 15th, 1966. One season, 30-minute show, 26 episodes, ran on NBC. And it was the premise was there was like some crazy things that happened at a boys' summer camp, and that was at Camp Runamuck. They had a girls' camp. I don't know if it's on the other side, but I remember that was called Camp Divine, and that was run. Camp Runamuck was run by Commander Wivenhoe, and it was portrayed by Arch Johnson. He played in a lot of TV shows. He's a great, funny actor. Mostly he was in Bewitched, and he hated kids. I don't know why he's stuck in his job. I don't know. Who knows? Then he had a senior counselor. His name was Spiffy. That was played by actor David Ketchum. I remember him from Get Smart. I think he was Agent 13. He used to be hiding in other parts to give information to Maxwell Smart, like that. Others in the cast was Dave Madden. He was Counselor Pruitt. This is one of his first TV roles before he went to Rowan Martin's Laugh-In, and then he went to his famous role as Reuben Kincaid in The Partridge Family. And also there was the camp cook. His name Malden. He was played by actor Mike Wagner. Now the owner of the girls' camp was Eulalia Devine. That was played by Hermione Badley. We all know her from Mrs. Naugatuck for Maud. I saw a couple. She was great in that. She's hilarious. She was the funniest lady I ever watched. Also, there was a chief counselor. Her name was Mahalia May Grunecker, played by actress Alice Nunn. And there was another counselor, Caprice Udelman, that was played by Nina Wing, who was she was an actress. She was the younger sister of actress Carol Wing. You remember her? She was with Johnny Carson. They did that theater bit. I can't think of the title in a moment, but and she was in a lot of she did a lot of acting in sitcoms. Unfortunately, she passed away in 1985. She drowned. That was terrible, like that. And then there was most of the plots were they would like the kids were missing. They fell in the lake. There was food poisoning. There were fights. Playing tricks with each other. It's a lot of fun. It looked like a fun show, but ratings didn't do very well with that. And it's a shame. So, but right now I'm going to play the theme song for Camp Runamuck. When I come back, I'll talk about Dave Madden. One of the greatest funny men I ever seen on television. Okay, so sit back and enjoy the theme song for Camp Runamuck. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Camp Runamuck. It's not on DVD. I wish it was. I watched a couple episodes on YouTube. It's funny. It's a very funny show. Too bad it didn't succeed. As for Dave Madden, of course, his famous role was as Reuben Kincaid in the Partridge Family. Excuse me. And but before that, he was one of the cast members of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. So I'll get to that in a second. So he was born December 17th, 1931 in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. I didn't know he was from Canada. And then he moved to Michigan, and then he moved to Terre Haute, Indiana. You know. And so let's see. And then he tried the nightclub circuit as a stand-up comic. That didn't work. And then he appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show. Maybe that's his first TV appearance, I believe. And then he went to got the job for Camp Runamuck. You know. And then he got cast in Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. In the second season, he would say something. He would drink milk, throw some confetti. Always looked sour. He had a sour-faced look. He was fine. It's so strange seeing him, but then the third season, I don't know what happened. Maybe he didn't want to go on, continue, or they fired him. I don't know what happened. He got dropped, but I don't know the whole story. There's a book about Laugh-In I have. I got to reread it again. Then he got cast as Reuben Kincaid in 1970, The Partridge Family, and that was his most famous role. And he was hilarious. And him with Danny Partridge, played by Danny Bonaducci, the most famous duo. When they were together, there was trouble. And Danny gave him grief all the time whenever he visited him. But you know what? In the first step, if you remember if you watch The Partridge Family religiously, if you remember the first episode, Danny went out to him, to be their agent of the group, and he did. He succeeded, and it was great. They had a great relationship, and of course with the rest of the family. Like that. He also appeared in other TV shows, Bewitched. I remember a few of those. He was hilarious. Happy Days, The Love Boat, Barney Miller, Fantasy Island. He had a recurring role in Alice, starring Linda Lavin as Earl Hicks. He was at Mel's Diner, always saying funny stuff like that. And he did voiceover work, like Denny's or a lot of commercials, like that. And let's see. So he passed away on January 16, 2014. And he was 82 years old. What a funny man. It was wonderful. Whenever we see Dave Madden, you think of Reuben Kincaid. What can I say? Okay. All right, next up we have from the 1970s the TV animated series, The Great Grape Ape Show. I remember this show very well. This premiered on September 6, 1975, ended December 13, 1975. Very short time. It was a 20-minute show, 10 minutes per segment, 32 segments on ABC. And the Great Grape was a 40-foot tall purple gorilla and a mind of a child. And his catchphrase, if you remember, was, he said this twice: Grape Ape, Grape Ape, Grape Ape, Grape Ape. And, he was not a mean animal. He was very childish and playful. like that. And he would travel the countryside or anywhere in the world with his pal. He was a dog. His name was Beagle. Beagle. Beagle spelled with two E's. Beagle spelled with EA. And that was voiced by Marty Ingalls, which coincidentally was married to Shirley Jones in the Partridge Family. I've known him for a lot of TV sitcoms. He did the voice of Beagle Beagle, Beagly Beagly, or like that. Or maybe it's Beagle Beagle or Beagle Bleagy. I don't know. Got to make sure of that. Anyway, so they would travel then, and a lot of people got scared. And, they fought the bad guys and all that. My memories of this show, I watched it a couple times, not all the time, but I do remember it very well. And it's just another cartoon from Hanna-Barbera, from the factory of they churn out all these cartoons like that. And it was broadcast in one of these formats. First, it was the Tom and Jerry Grape Ape show. They did that. It was together with Tom and Jerry, the famous cat and mouse. Also, it was then in the following year, they went into reruns. It was Tom and Jerry, Grape Ape, and the Mumbly show, with Mumbly, from Dick Dashley and Mumbly. And then the last year in 1977, it was the Grape Ape, the Great Grape Ape show. Excuse me, just in reruns, just them, like that. He also appeared on Scooby's All-Star Laugh Olympics. That was the following in 1977. So I'll talk about that another time because that show was funny. According to some sources, his team always win because why not? He's a tall guy; he could beat anybody. There was no competition with that. Okay, so right now I'm going to play the theme song for the Grape Ape show. When I come back, I'll talk a little bit more about Marty Ingalls, who did the voice of Beagle Beagle. Okay, so sit back and enjoy, everyone. Thank you.
Grape Ape,
Over 40 feet high,
Grape Ape,
just a little bit shy,
Grape Ape.
but a super strong guy.
Yep, that's me.
The great Grape Ape.
Grape Ape,
If he comes to your town,
Grape Ape,
he will really put down
Grape Ape.
any bad guy around. The great Grape Ape. What a sight to see him jogging block after block. Things begin to shake and quake and rattle and rock. The big hurrah!
Grape Ape,
I do not recommend.
Grape
He
Ape,
is one to offend.
Grape Ape.
So be sure he's your friend.
Better be sure.
The great Grape Ape.
Yep, that's me.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for the Great Grape Ape show. I got it right. That's a great tongue twister. I can't even say tongue twister. How about that? As for Marty Ingalls, he was a funny man. He was best known for a sitcom in the early 1960s called I'm Dickens, He's Fenster. Believe it or not, that show is on DVD. Only the first season was no, not the first season. The first part they did that in one volume, and the second part it's been MIA. I don't know what's going on with that. So I've seen clips of that in shows, and it's funny. He started with John Aston from the Addams Family. So he was born Martin Ingerman in New York City, March 9th, 1936. And his uncle was Abraham Beame, the mayor of New York from 1974 to 1977. Interesting. Didn't know that. Then he started other sitcoms, like for example, he was in Bewitched. If you remember the famous episode Diaper Dan when he plants a microphone bug in Tabitha's rattle, it's funny. But the most famous role that he did was an army buddy of Rob Petrie on the Dick Van Dyke Show as Saul Pomeroy. A lot of people think he was annoying. He kind of is an annoying. I heard a lot of people say he was annoying on camera and also off camera. And, well, what do you expect? And he did some movies, a lot of television, as I mentioned before. And he was famous for his second marriage to Shirley Jones, Shirley Partridge, the Partridge Family. I heard he didn't get along with with her kids or anybody. I don't know. He drove them nuts. I don't know, what was he thinking? I think he became her agent, and it was strange. But also he drove Shirley Jones crazy, but she loved him, stuck by him, she filed for divorce, but then she changed her mind. So like that, she didn't want to do that. And he died October 21st, 2015. He was 79 years old. So he seemed like a nice guy, but he had that annoying thing like that. I'm sure he was a nice man, maybe tried too hard. I don't know. I guess he rubbed people the wrong way. He really did. So that's too bad. Like that. Okay. All right. Next up, we go to the 1980s, and it's an anthology series, Amazing Stories. You don't hear much about this show because I remember the fanfare when they were going to premiere this show, and all throughout that year. So I'll get started speaking about this. It premiered September 29th, 1985, ended April 10th, 1987. It ran for 2 seasons, 45 episodes on ABC. The executive producer, one of the executive producers, was Steven Spielberg. He was involved with this show. And it won a lot of Emmys. It was very well. I saw a couple of times of the show. I remember when it was heavily promoted. And I did watch a few shows. It was very good. It's very good. It's kind of like The Twilight Zone, but it's not that scary. It was, not frightening or like... I don't know if it had. I don't remember having twist endings like Alfred Hitchcock, or Alfred Hitchcock Presents or The Twilight Zone. So, so it was. I liked the show. I really did. And let's see. Let's see what we got here. If you want to see the show, you can go to Apple iTunes or Apple Music. Like that. And they just made a reboot of that about a couple of years ago, like that. So you can watch it on, probably on streaming if you like. It's not the same thing, so we'll see about that. Okay, so here's some interesting part. Before I'm going to play the theme song, and when I come back, I'll talk about a few interesting things about Amazing Stories. Okay, okay. So sit back and enjoy, and I'll be right back. And I'll be right back after the theme song. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Amazing Stories. Here's a couple things about this show. There was, if you remember the film in 1987 called Batteries Not Included, it was originally planned as a segment for the series. But Steven Spielberg thought, nah, we'll make it into a movie. We'll do that. Wasn't that successful, but I've seen it a little bit on TV. It was pretty good. It's been a long time. Also, it had a spin-off called Family Dog. Yeah, it was on Amazing Stories. Then it had his own spin-off show, but he had to wait 6 years for it to become a regular series. But it did not air on NBC. It ran on CBS, and it ran for about 10 episodes. Maybe someday I'll talk about the show. And I saw it, and it's an interesting show. Really is. He's kind of goofy, like that. So I'm surprised this show has not been rerun. It really has. It had a great cast of people. They had a lot of great actors, that appeared on the show. It's amazing. I'm surprised. I really am. So I don't know. We'll see about that. Just one thing. The first episode it was directed by Steven Spielberg, and it was called Ghost Train. So you can catch that. I haven't checked YouTube yet. You could do a search. Maybe it's there. Help yourself. Okay. Next up, we have from the 1990s, the television sitcom Almost Perfect. And this premiered on September 17th, 1995, ended December 11th, 1996. It ran for 2 seasons, more like a season and a half, 34 episodes, aired on CBS. It was a 30-minute sitcom. And the cast consists of, Nancy Travis as Kimberly Kim Cooper, Kevin Kleiner as Mike Ryan, David Clennon as Neil Luder, Matthew Letcher, I think that's how you say it, as Rob Paley, and Chip Zien as Gary Karp. Had a good cast, and let's see. The premise of the show is Nancy Travis as Kim Cooper was a television writer on the hit show Blue Justice, sort of like a parody of NYPD Blue. But she was so she was trying to find a man, like that, and then she was set up for a blind date, and then she was supposed to meet a guy, but she met the wrong man. She mistook him, and she met Mike Ryan, played by Kevin Kleiner, but they end up, getting involved. So that's great, like that. I've seen the show a few times. It's funny. It was funny. I like that, and so it's Nancy Travis, you know her best as, I think one of her roles is 3 Men and a Baby. That movie came out in 1987 with Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, and Steve Guttenberg. And she appeared in a lot of movies, like, for example, Chaplin, Air America, I Married an Axe Murderer. And then she appeared on the last 2 seasons of Becker that starred with Ted Danson. But her most famous role was for the 10 years was as Vanessa Baxter in the sitcom Last Man Standing with Tim Allen. She was great in that. I like that show. It's hilarious. Like that. So right now I'm going to play the theme song for Almost Perfect. It's very short. It's about 15 seconds. When I come back, I'll talk about a little about Matthew Letcher, because this guy's got an interesting career, a TV career. So sit back and enjoy, everyone. Quickly. Okay, thank you. Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Almost Perfect. It's very fast. It goes zip. It's done. Okay, right now I'll talk about actor Mac Lusher. He's a fascinating actor. He plays good guys, bad guys, but he plays a real bad guy. He really does. And let's see, he was born in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, and his earliest roles were The Mask of Zorro. It was in 1998. He did a few movies. And let's see. So he did. He was in the cast of in Joey. That's a spinoff of Friends that starred Matt LeBlanc. He was in that, and also he had a recurring role in The New Adventures of Old Christine. He was in that. Also in Eli Stone, he was in that show. He starred in a lot of shows. He really did. But his most famous role was Eobard Thorne, the Reverse Flash on The Flash, which I love that series. He played a nasty guy. Oh, he was bad. And I think he's coming back. I think he's coming back. I don't know. It's possible. So he played the role very well. And Reverse Flash is one of the Flash's most deadliest enemies, and he played it very well. So that's great. He's a wonderful actor. Okay. Next up, we have from the 2000s. We have Beautiful People. Okay, and it's a TV drama, and this premiered on the ABC Family Network, and it ran for 2 seasons. Premiered August 8th, 2005, ended April 24th, 2006. Only 16 episodes. Yeah, just like I said, 2 seasons. And it starred it's about a family that moves from New Mexico to New York City to make a fresh start. And let's see. So the star of the show was Daphne Zuniga. She played a single mother named Lynn Kerr, and she had two daughters. Sophie Kerr, played by Sarah Foret, and her older sister Karen Kerr, played by Tori DeVito. And they settled in New York City, and they're trying to, survive. Trying to do that. They did very well. And so let's see. And I saw the show a couple of times. I liked it because I love Daphne Zuniga. She's a great actress. I've watched her in Melrose Place, and a few movies she did before. It didn't do very well in the ratings, so it was canceled. But I saw a couple episodes. On TV, and I saw some of them on YouTube, and it was pretty good. I didn't see the last episode. No, I didn't get a chance to do that. But on the season finale, her ex-husband appeared. And you never guess who played her ex-husband. It was Grant Show, who played Jake Hansen from Melrose Place. The perfect casting. Those two together had great chemistry together on Melrose Place. And they did this on Dynasty, the new Dynasty that was just canceled, and she was in the show. She guest starred in that. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad they called her and did that. She didn't play a mean woman. Well, not mean, more like sneaky, like that. Of course, sort of like that. But she was on. But I think she was very interested in Blake Carrington's character, like that. Okay. So right now I'm going to play the theme song of Beautiful People. When I come back, I will talk more about Daphne Zuniga. Okay. So sit back and enjoy, everyone. Thank you.
Until the way
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Beautiful People. Uh, let's talk about Daphne Zuniga. She was born in San Francisco, October 28, 1962. She still looks beautiful today. Oh my God. I don't know what's her secret. And she did a lot of movies. Her film debut was a slasher film called The Dorm That Dirt Blood. I didn't want to say that. And then she started another slasher movie, The Initiation. Oh boy, she really started on the right track in a way. But her other great movies she starred in were The Sure Thing, directed by Rob Reiner. I saw that movie. That was with John Cusack. That's a good movie. And also Modern Girls and Spaceballs. That's funny. That's a funny movie. It really is. The role, she also starred opposite Lucille Ball in the TV drama Stone Pillow. That was one of Lucille Ball's first dramatic role in a TV movie. I liked the movie, but when I watch Lucille Ball, I expect her to do something funny. But I know it's a drama, but I get my hopes up. I remember one scene she was on a bus and she got scared, and that was like a little Lucy in there, but it wasn't meant to be. So she was, I think she was like a social worker. She tried to help her, but I don't think she was miscast. She was fine. I don't know about her experience with her. I have no idea. Then she started in the sequel to The Fly, #2, The Fly 2. I didn't see that. And then she got cast as Jo Reynolds on Melrose Place, one of her most famous roles. I love her in this role. She was great. She first started as a real tough, assertive woman. And then she got beaten up, and then she had a baby, and she got mixed up with a lot of crazy men. And then she left the show in '96. And then she starred in One Tree Hill, and then she starred in Beautiful People. She's still acting to this day. She really is, and that's great. I'm happy for her. Also, remember she played the girlfriend of Alex B. Keaton in Family Ties. She also, I think she played in what's that show? Spin City. She starred with Michael again. I saw that. So that's kind of cool, like that. And she's a great actress, like I always said. Okay. Next up, we have our last show, and this is from the 2010s, and that is, well, if I said Beautiful People is from the 2010s, it's from the 2000s. I apologize. So this is from the 2010s. This is the Carmichael Show, and this is a television sitcom. And this premiered on October 26, 2015, ended August 9th, 2017, ran for 3 seasons. I think it didn't appear consistently like that. And what's funny about this show was not set the show was set in Charlotte, North Carolina. This starred comedian Jared Carmichael, and he's a funny guy. And the premise of the show was it was about him and his family, and included included his father, played by David Allen Greer. Oh, one of the funniest men I ever seen on television. You just look at him, you start laughing. Also, Loretta Devine as so that was Joe Carmichael. That was David Allen Greer's Greer character. Pardon me. Also, Loretta Devine as Cynthia Carmichael as his wife and mother to Jared and Bobby. I'll get to Bobby in a minute. Bobby was played by Lil Howery. He's a comedian as well. Also, excuse me. Also, we have Amber Stevens West as Maxine North. And that was Jared's girlfriend. They got married later on. Also in the cast was Tiffany Haddish. and she played Nikisha Williams Carmichael. And then they broke up and all that. Okay. So I'm going to play the theme song for the Carmichael show. And when I come back, I'll talk a little bit more about David Alan Grier. Okay. So I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for the Carmichael show. I'm sorry, I was going to cough at the end. I'm okay now, but if I might cough again. Excuse me. Okay. So right now, David Alan Grier, one of the funniest men on television. He was born June 30th, 1956, in Detroit, Michigan. Started a lot of musicals, like plays and all that. His most famous role was in Living Color. Oh, he was hilarious in that. I love that. He also played in the Eddie Murphy movie Boomerang. I liked him in that. You know, and in Living Color, let's see, he did a lot of characters. Some was Antoine Merriweather in the Men on Sketch series, blues musician Calhoun Tubbs. Also, Al McPhee, he was a shop teacher, you know, with a megaphone. The elderly Mr. Brooks, and Tiny, a prison inmate. Oh boy! But he started in a lot of movies, many movies. You know, I can go on, but he was on Dancing with the Stars. I thought he was good in that. Yeah, I enjoyed him. You know, he's still hilarious. So he does stage work, and he appears in sitcoms. You know, I'm so happy for him. I really am. Okay. So that's it for this show. So I'm going to do a recap of what I talked about today. So here we go. From the 1950s, I talk about the adventures of Champion the Wonder Horse. Yeah, if you heard that noise, don't worry about that. So let me start again. Well, here's the lineup. From the 1950s, The Adventures of Champion the Wonder Horse. From the 1960s, Camp Runamuck. That's a TV sitcom. From the 1970s, the TV anime series, The Grape Ape Show. From the 1980s, the anthology series, Amazing Stories. From the 1990s, the TV sitcom Almost Perfect. From the 2000s, the TV drama Beautiful People. And from the 2010s, the TV sitcom Carmichael Show. Well, it's been a long time. This is what I said in the beginning. It's been a month since I've done an episode of TV Oblivion, so I'm glad I'm back. I don't know when I'll do the next show. Maybe this coming weekend. We'll see if I have time. So we'll see. But I really enjoyed discussing these shows today. I really did. I had a lot of fun. Okay, so this is Pete Costanis, your host for TV Oblivion, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Everyone have a great Sunday. Right now, I'm going to play the Pick and Pluck song. That's the famous ending song for this podcast. Before I sign off, one thing I want to mention, you can find this wherever podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel, TV Oblivion, the podcast. Also, I'll post it on my Facebook page and group, and also on Twitter, and also be on my. No, it won't be on my blog. I don't put it on the blog, so you can find it. It'll be published later on today. Okay, so bye bye for me, and here's the song, "The Pick and Pluck." Take care, everyone. So long.